Hi there, this is Lee from IELTS Master, and today we have a Band 7 Plus vocabulary lesson. This is Lesson 7, Technology. Now, technology is one of the most common topics in the whole exam. It comes up again and again in Writing Task 2, and in Speaking too. So, these are words worth getting right. Here's the idea behind this whole course. Most students try to raise their score by learning more words, or longer, fancier words. But that is not what examiners are looking for. What really separates Band 7 from Band 6 is collocation. And collocation just means knowing which words go together. So innovation is just a word. But drive technological innovation? Now that is a Band 7 phrase. So for every word today, we'll look at the definition and 2 example sentences, then the collocations that make it sound natural and exactly when to use them. And at the end, you'll get one small action step. Ready? Let's go. So what are today's 5 words? They are innovation, automation, connectivity, surveillance, and dependence. Now you probably know most of these already, but knowing a word and using it like a Band 7 candidate, those are 2 very different things. And the difference almost every time is the collocations. First, innovation. So what does innovation actually mean? Innovation is a new method, idea, or product. Something genuinely new, not just a small change. It comes from the verb to innovate. And notice the little family it gives you. We innovate, the result is an innovation, and a company that keeps doing it is innovative. 1 root, 3 words. Nice. Let's look at 2 examples. Technological innovation has transformed the way we work and communicate. And governments fund universities to drive innovation in key industries. Now, the collocations, we can say technological innovation, to drive innovation, to foster innovation, constant innovation, and an innovation hub. These are perfect for essays about the economy, education, and progress. Next, automation. Automation is the use of machines and software to do work that people used to do. Where does the word come from? Well, the root is automatic, something that happens on its own, without a person. So automation is simply the process of making work automatic. Simple, right? And it's a key word for any question about technology and jobs. For example, increasing automation threatens many low-skilled jobs, and automation has dramatically improved efficiency in manufacturing. Now the collocations: increasing automation, factory automation, automation technology to automate tasks, and workplace automation. Notice we almost always pair automation with the economy and with jobs. Next, connectivity. Connectivity is the state of being connected. And in modern IELTS, it almost always means one thing: internet access. You already know connection and connected. Connectivity is just the bigger idea: how well a place or a person is linked up. For example, many rural areas still lack reliable internet connectivity. And global connectivity allows employees to work from almost anywhere. The collocations are internet connectivity, global connectivity, high-speed connectivity, mobile connectivity, and reliable connectivity. Great for globalization, work, and development topics. Next, surveillance. Now this one sounds formal, and that is exactly why examiners like it. Surveillance is the close watching of people, usually by a government or a company, often through cameras and data. It's a much more academic word than watching or spying, so it's ideal for task 2. For example, critics argue that mass surveillance undermines personal privacy. And surveillance technology has made many city centers safer, but less private. The collocations to remember are mass surveillance, state surveillance, surveillance technology, under surveillance, and constant surveillance. These belong in any essay about privacy, security, and the power of the state. Finally, dependence. And here's a Band 7 upgrade most students miss. Instead of saying people are addicted to their phones, say they have a growing dependence on them. Dependence from the verb depend just means relying on something too much. It sounds calmer, and more academic than addiction. For example, our growing dependence on smartphones is reshaping social behavior. And schools are trying to reduce children's dependence on screens. The collocations are growing dependence, technological dependence, heavy dependence, to reduce dependence, and digital dependence. So, here's your action step, and it's a simple one. Choose 3 words from today's lesson and write 1 original IELTS sentence for each. Your own sentence, not a copy of mine. And in each one, try to use a collocation. Maybe technological innovation, increasing automation, internet connectivity, mass surveillance, or growing dependence. That one step, turning a word you recognize into a sentence you've actually built, is how vocabulary moves from your memory into your writing. And if you'd like to practice properly, the free IELTS Task 2 practice pack is linked down in the description. Pick a technology question, plan a quick paragraph, and put 2 or 3 of today's words straight to work. That really is the fastest way to make this vocabulary your own. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next lesson.